guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Rabia. For today's video, I thought we could do some painting. I'm not a professional artist or anything like that, but I just thought it would be fun to do some easy DIY paintings that you can do for your room or your apartment or whatever. They're all kind of boho, minimal vibes. Because I feel like that's super trendy now, and that's how my apartment kind of is, so I thought I would just use the same kind of colors and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hi guys. Okay, so for the first painting, I decided to do something more cool tone just because all the other ones are pretty warm. So I started off with kind of like a lilac, bluey, super light wash background color. I just mixed like reds and blues and a lot of white. And then I went in and started sketching out my shapes. I'll show you what the inspiration for this painting was, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm just sketching out some abstract shapes that kind of connect so I know where I'm going to be painting later. And then I went in and started painting out my shapes. I would definitely recommend kind of picking your color palette before you start, just so you know all the colors you're going to be using work together. The first color I went for was kind of like this dark grayish purple, just because I thought it looked good with the background color. So now I feel good that I wrote some. So let me quote some. Yeah, I don't really like you. And then I went in and kind of neatened up the edges. The good things about these paintings are that you don't have to be perfect. Your lines don't have to be super straight. Just try and get the paint as neat as you can on the edges, and honestly, that's good enough. For the second shape, I decided to go in with like a light minty green. Again, I just thought it looked nice with the purple tones. Added a little bit of contrast, and also just keeping all the colors super pastel and muted. And then I went in and made a big circle at the top, and I decided to do that in kind of a mustard yellow color. I honestly think colors and the color palette you use is probably one of the most important things in getting like a boho minimal vibe, just because you want to make sure that none of your colors are too bright or too over the top, and you also want to make sure they kind of go together nicely. So definitely getting the right tone of color is one of the most important things, I think. Otherwise, you can honestly play around with the composition and the shapes. Pinterest is a great place. That's where I got all my inspiration for this video from. Just searching up easy, minimal DIY paintings will get you a bunch of different results, and you can kind of look at those and make something that you see there or make it your own. So that's a great place to start. Writing sad songs for someone, but now I really know how to go, and now I really know how to flow on my lonesome. Feels so wholesome. And then after I was done with the shapes, I started to go in and draw the leaf that I wanted across the front. This was probably the most nerve-wracking part, because I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted my leaf to look. Looking back, I maybe should have followed my inspiration picture a bit closer. But I mean, freehanding and just kind of enjoying it is part of the fun. So I just went in and started painting out the leaf. I ended up adding a couple more individual leaves than you see here for the end painting. But yeah, I kind of like how it ended up. It's not perfect by any means, but I think that's a vibe, you know? I don't really like you, but I try to, so I can have fun. I just roll around. And after I was done with that, yeah, I just kind of neatened up all my edges, and here's what the finished product looked like. I just roll around town with a frown on the run. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Okay, so painting number 2 is super simple, probably the most simple one in this entire video. I've seen so many of these paintings, I'm sure you would have seen them too, but I basically started with kind of a light peachy yellow background, and then I went in and started sketching out my mountains. This is super easy. Looking back, I kind of sketched out my mountains a bit high. I probably would do them a little bit lower and more horizontal instead of vertical, if that makes sense. But again, it's super easy to just freehand this, and it's probably gonna look good either way. I just went in and painted in all those mountains. I actually ended up changing this color, you'll see later on, because I just thought it was a bit too purple. But yeah, otherwise I just went for kind of like a rust pink, orange, yellow kind of color palette. And yeah, just make sure you get the edges of the canvas as well, because you'll be able to see those if you hang it up. You find the beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. Let me paint a picture. I see they don't understand. Feeling like Picasso. She brushing against my hands. Seen you from around the way. You didn't give me the time of day. You be making moves that year. Who really care what Simon say? All the bad things, girl, I had to look past that. Call yourself a dime, I'm just trying to get my cash back. You be looking fine, so no wonder they can't match that. Louis V scarf, or I'm chilling with a dad hat. Whoa, slow it down like that. Just hold me down like that. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something. I'm also using acrylic paint for all these paintings, in case you were wondering. I just feel like they dry super quickly, and as you can see here, you can use them to paint over an existing paint color if you want to. So that's what I'm using, but of course, if you prefer like a watercolor vibe, or if you are experienced in oil paints, which I'm personally too scared to use, you can go ahead and use those. I just think acrylic paints are usually the easiest to use for me. But yeah, I ended up changing the color of the first mountain just because I thought it didn't really go with the warm vibes I was going for. And then I just painted in my sun, super easy, just a circle in the center of the canvas. I went for kind of like a pale yellow. Again, don't want anything to be too bright or too harsh, just super muted pastel, not pastel tones, but yeah, muted tones. But here's what it looked like when it was done. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be some. I'm sick of this. So the last painting I think is personally maybe my favorite. It's the most fun to do. I think I painted I don't even think I mixed any colors for this. If I'm not wrong, this was just like ochre, I think, or I can't remember what the color's called, but I'll put it somewhere in the description. And also all my canvases are from Michaels. Michaels has super cheap canvases if you are looking for some good ones. I got this pack of 3 canvases for only $11, which I think is such a good deal. But I just went in and painted some shapes in the corners, just because I didn't want some color in this painting. since most of it is just going to be kind of drawings. But yeah, the inspiration for this painting was kind of all the abstract face drawings that I saw on Pinterest. They look super cool and I love the vibe of them, and they're honestly pretty easy to recreate. I traced very closely the inspiration picture for this one just because I was scared to make it up myself. I would definitely recommend trying out these drawings on a separate paper first before you put them onto the canvas, just so you know what your layout is going to be. But yeah, after that I kind of traced them out with a Sharpie just because I thought that would make it easier for me when I was going over it with black paint. So yeah, I'm just adding a bunch of different shapes and features across the painting, and then I went over it in black paint just to keep the lines nice and dark, and of course I still want it to look like paint, but that's how it looked like in the end. But my friend said that we need some patience. We don't wanna wait no more, can't take breaks no more. I've needed company from you lately. Okay guys, those are all the paintings. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know what your favorite painting was, or if you're gonna recreate them. If you do, send them to me on Instagram because that would be really cool. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.